Hello dear friends, welcome back to my channel. In the previous video we have discussed about gametogenesis, spermatogenesis, oogenesis and about menstrual cycles, which are all the topics related to human reproduction. So in this video we will be discussing about fertilization. So what is fertilization? As we all know that fertilization is a process of fusion of sperm and ovum. So as a result it gives or it formed diploid zygote. So in human beings, fertilization take place mostly in the ampullary ischemic junctions of oviduct, that is in the fallopian tube of female. So the oocyte can live for 72 hours but can be fertilized only during the first 24 hours of this period. So ovum takes 12 to 24 hours to reach the site of fertilization, so that is in fallopian tube. Again, male discharges semen high up in the female's vagina close to the cervix during coitus or copulations. This process is known as insemination. So a single ejaculation of semen may contain 3000 million sperms. So this is approximate 3000 to 350 million sperms. So from the vagina, the sperms travel up the uterus, but only a few thousand find their way into the openings of the fallopian tubes, because the leukocytes of the vaginal epitheliums engulf millions of sperms. Primarily, contractions of the uterus and fallopian tube helps in the sperm movement, but later on they move by their own motility. Again, sperms swim in the fluid medium at the rate of 1.5 to 3 millimeter per minute to reach the site. The egg released from the mature Graafian follicles of an ovary by a process of ovulations, which is received by nearby fallopian funnel and sent into the fallopian tube by a movement of fimbriae or cilia. So it is in the secondary oocyte stage with the second meiotic divisions in progress. So the sperms enters the secondary oocytes, and during this process only the second meiotic division is completed by the entry of the sperm into the secondary oocyte. Now after this secondary oocyte is called ovum or egg. So the secretions of the female genital tract remove coating of substance which is deposited on the surface of the sperms, particularly those on the acrosome, that is on the cape-like structure on the sperm. So due to this, the receptor sites on the acrosome are exposed and sperms becomes active to penetrate the egg. So this process of sperm activation in mammals is known as capacitation, which takes about 5 to 6 hours for capacitations. Again, the secretions of seminal vesicles, prostate gland, bulbourethral glands or Cooper's glands in the semen contain new nutrients which further activate the sperms. Also, these secretions neutralize the acidity of the vagina. Here we should know that in alkaline medium the sperms become active, not in the acidic medium. Next, let us see what are the different process which takes place to activate the sperms or leads to capacitation development. So the first is dilutions of inhibitory factors which are present in the semen, then washing of cholesterol vesicles which covers the sperm head, then removal of membrane cholesterol which is present over the acrosome, and all these changes leads to weaken the membrane covering. And also the entry of calcium ion into sperms cause movement of sperm tail from slower undulating motion to rapid whiplash motions, and increasing permeability of the weakened acrosomal covering by calcium ion. So these are the changes which takes place to develop capacitations in the female genital tract. Next, now let us see what are the different chemical reaction, physical and chemical events takes place during fertilization. So the first reaction take place is known as acrosomal reaction. So here in contact with the surface of egg covering, that the acrosome releases its the sperm acrosome releases its contain, that is hydrolytic enzymes, which are commonly known as sperm lysines. So this reaction is known as acrosomal reactions, and the sperm lysines such as hyaluronidase, it active it acts on the ground substance of the follicle cells, and the other enzyme, that is corona penetrating enzyme, which dissolves corona radiata layer of egg, and zona lysine or acrosine, they help to digest the zona pellucida layer of egg. And another thing which is very important during this acrosomal reaction is calcium ion, which plays very important role in acrosomal reaction. Apart from this, optimum pH, approximate adequate amount of magnesium concentrations, and temperature is also required. So after acrosomal reactions, binding of the sperm to the egg induces depolarization of egg plasma membrane, and because of depolarization it causes first block to polyaspermy. Polyaspermy means it does not allow any extra sperms from joining the egg's plasma membrane. So here you can see in the figure there are 4 stages which has been shown of sperm entry into the ovum during fertilization. Here A, which sperms come in contact with the layer of zona pellucida, layer of egg. In B, it starts releasing its acrosomal enzymes, that is proteolytic enzymes and hydrolytic enzymes. And finally the nucleus of a sperm is released inside the ovum cytoplasm, and the nucleus of secondary oocyte, that is ovum, is known as pronucleus of female, and the sperm nucleus is known as pronucleus, male pronucleus. So the next reaction which takes place during fertilization is cortical reaction. So immediately after the fusion of a sperm and egg plasma membrane, the egg shows a cortical reaction which further checks the entry of more sperms. So in this reaction, the cortical granules which are present beneath the ovum's plasma membrane fuse with the plasma membrane. Here in the previous video you can see that these are the cortical granules which is located beneath this zona pellucida, and after leaking they will enter into the zona pellucida membrane, and which will lead to this release the enzymes between it and zona pellucida layer, and calcium ions wave causes extrusions of cortical granules out of the egg. So these enzymes which are releases from cortical granules harden the zona pellucida, and it makes sure block to polyaspermy. No extra sperms will get chances to enter into the ovum. Next is sperm entry. The eggs extend around the entering sperm finger-like process which is known as microvilli, which constitute a fertilization cone. The latter take the entire sperm into the egg. The distal centriole of the sperm, as we know that in sperm two kinds of centrioles are found, distal centriole and proximal centriole, but here distal centrioles divides into two centrioles, and it then generate the mitotic spindle of cell divisions. And we have to keep in mind that in mammalian egg the centriole is absent. Next process which takes place during fertilization is karyogamy or amphimixis. So this is a process of fusion of male pronucleus and female pronucleus. So the sperm entry stimulates the egg, that is secondary oocytes, to resume and complete the suspended meiosis II division. This produces a haploid mature ovum and a second polar body. So at this time the head of the sperm, which consists nucleus, separates from the middle piece and tail, and it becomes male pronucleus. We have seen in the previous picture. The second polar body immediately degenerates, and the nucleus of the ovum will be called as female pronucleus at this stage. So the male and female pronucleus move toward each other and their nuclear membrane disintegrate, and this process of mixing of chromosomes of sperm and ovum is known as karyogamy or amphimixis. So this completes the act of fertilization, and because of this it combines the genetic informations from two parents. The ovum is now a diploid cell having 23 pairs of chromosomes in human beings, and it is now termed as zygote. So here one thing we should know, that in ovum a glycoprotein is found which is known as fertilizing, and in sperm it is found as one surface protein is found which is known as anti-fertilizing. Because of these fertilizing anti-fertilizing reactions, which is known as a agglutination process, it took place during fertilization, which is very species specific. Next, after fertilizations, how sex is determined in human beings. As we all know that the sex chromosome pattern in human female is XX and in male it is XY. So all the haploid female gametes, that is in egg, have the same sex chromosome, that is X, but in haploid male gametes it has either X or Y. So we can say that 50% of sperms have X chromosome and 50% of sperms has Y chromosome. So after fusion of the male and female gametes, the zygote, which carries either XX or XY depending upon whether the sperm is carrying XY, fertilizes the ovum. So it is, if the zygote carrying XX, then it is known as female baby, whereas if it is XY, then it will be a male baby in human being. So it is very correct and right to say that the sex of baby or of an offspring is determined by father in human being. So now let us see what are the significance of fertilization. So fertilization restores the diploid number of chromosome, which is a characteristics of every species. In human being it is 46 numbers. Next, fertilization initiates cleavage, so it is a kind of mitotic division. Further, fertilizations introduce the centrioles which are lacking in the mature egg, and fertilization results in determination of sex in the embryo. It also combines the characteristics of two parents, because of which it introduces variations in an individual or in an offspring. And also fertilization membrane developed after the entry of sperms prevents the entry of other sperms in the ovum. So the last one is the fertilization brings together the chromosomes and genes from two different lines of ancestry, and because of this new genetic recombination is obtained, and which ensure improved adaptation to ever changing environment by an individual. So these are some important significance of fertilization. So this is the last part of human reproduction, the topic related to human reproduction. So hope this video is helpful for you. At the last, I would like to say keep watching my videos, like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.